to 75 years. Subjects will receive blood tests and brain PET scans for early diagnosis and investigational medication that could slow disease progression. Study-related care and support, compensation, and transportation are available. Please call 610-765-1412 or go to flourishresearch.com/Philadelphia.
Word Radio Digital Tip of the Month is brought to you by Comcast.
Are you looking for a Black-owned business in the greater Philadelphia region? Katika.us, that's Katika, is an online directory showcasing everything from restaurants, barbershops, and beauty salons to attorneys, accountants, and contractors. Katika's mission is to accelerate equality for the Black community by connecting Black businesses with conscious consumers. If you're looking for a business, you can easily search for one in your area. And if you are a Black-owned biz, you can list your business on the platform for free. Katika also hosts interactive community events like Black History Tours or wine tastings to engage and build community all across the city of Philadelphia. Let's all do what we can to support the businesses in our own backyards by visiting Katika.us. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
African Americans are the most likely to die from colorectal cancer. The most important thing you can do is get screened starting at age 45. Insurance companies are required to cover not only colonoscopy, but also virtual colonoscopy and other less invasive exams. Talk to your doctor about your options. For more information on virtual colonoscopy, visit radiologyinfo.org/virtualct. Brought to you by the American College of Radiology and the Radiology Health Equity Coalition.
We are the home of progressive Black talk media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app. The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people. Write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. How are you today, family? Welcome to this hump day, right? That's what they call Wednesdays, hump day, as we near the end of May. I still can't believe that. I cannot believe it is May 29th. But I do hope that all is coming along well with you and yours. Family, did you know that President Biden and Vice President Harris were in Philadelphia today? They were here to launch their Black voter outreach campaign. I know you're probably thinking, Carol, yeah, we knew that. It was all over the news. Of course we knew. Well, guess what? Somebody didn't know. Somebody didn't know. But I cannot stress to you enough. Vote, vote, vote. And I mean that. I mean that. I want to share something with you as we move forward some feel-good stories. The first of which is that a Pennsylvania student was accepted to 20 colleges and earned over $1 million in scholarships after struggling in early education. Right here in Philadelphia, an Upper Darby High School senior who once struggled academically has found a path to success. 18-year-old track star Jaden Alston made the honor roll every semester of high school and was accepted to 20 colleges, which offered him a combined $1.4 million in merit-based scholarships over the course of 4 years. So I just want to send a congratulations to him on behalf of the Love and Life family as he is planning to study business at Westchester University. Congrats to you. The second story I want to share with you is that a Delaware County teenager is making a name in high school track as a double amputee, right? He expresses that you got to believe in yourself. A Delaware County high school student isn't letting anything hold him back from achieving his dreams, and the teenager is giving new meaning to the word resilience. He's making quite a name for himself as an athlete, especially in track. Springfield High School junior Jack Cunningham stated, "When I'm racing people in high-level meets, they always think I'm an inspiration. I think part of that is because they didn't think I'd be here." What a baby. What a baby. Family, I wanted to share that with you because it made me feel so good. So I'm hoping that it makes you feel good too. Let us know if you're joining us. You can do so by sharing a comment on our socials. You can also do so by giving us a call to say hello. You know we love the love. Any way you care to share it. You can do that by dialing 215-634-8065. You can even call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. That's right. That's right. I'm going to give you some time to do that. So I'm going to share our Black History 365 moment. How York, an enslaved man, helped Lewis and Clark explore the West. So Lewis and Clark are known as the explorers of the American West, but someone else who is every bit of an American pioneer is often left out of the story. His name was York. He was William Clark's slave and is a big reason why everyone returned from the 2-year westward journey alive. York helped to keep his master and everyone else on the expedition alive. He contributed as an expert hunter. He was a master of military skills and was the reason why Lewis and Clark were able to trade with indigenous people who lived in the Western Territory. His skin color became a connection to building trust, and his contributions did not go unnoticed. There's a misconception that he received his freedom once they got back. He did not. Family, that is today's Black History 365 moment. I want to wish all of our love lights who are celebrating a birthday a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Yes, yes, yes. And you already know I'm going to say this because we do it every day. I'm sending extra love and hugs to you if your light is shining even the slightest bit dimly, even in this little liquid sunshine that we're getting right here. If your light is shining a little dimly, you got all this extra love coming to you from your tribe and your village right here at Love and Life with Carol Riddick. That's right. That is right. I see that family members are checking in. Hey there, Nasir. Nasir is sharing peace and blessings with the family, and you know we send them back. Hey, Nasir. Malcolm White shares, you know I'm watching and listening from West Mount Airy. We love to see it. And our love light, Lily, she is sharing love with everyone as well. So family, I want to get started because you know the hours go by so quickly, don't they? Don't they? Our guest in this first hour, she's a superwoman. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She's already a member of the family, but you're going to get to know her better. Her name is Gisele Haralson. She is a writer, film producer, educator, activist, radio personality, CEO of Follow Dreams Productions, and the executive director of Child Development Institute. Wait, did I say she was an author there? Because that's not in it. Well, it does. You know what? I did share writer, but I will say author because she's going to talk with us about some of her works as well. So, family, without further ado, I invite you to the conversation with Gisele Haralson. Hey there, beautiful.
Hello, how are you doing, family?
That's right. That's right. Say hi to your family. It's a pleasure to have you here. You know what? Well, I was getting ready to say I do this welcome, 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 and then I realize I look at the time, and the hour goes by so fast. I always want to jump right in because I want the family to know everything there is to know about you.
Yeah. Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Good.
And thank you so much for this. When I saw Love and Life, I became so excited. Because you're right. One of the things that I have spent about probably the last 15 years doing is researching love and relationships. And so my overall mission was my film and film production, but I'm like, oh my God, this whole ideal of love and life. And that is what led me to write my last book. I mean, we were going through such turbulent and trying times during our last administration that I wanted to write something that had everything to do with love. And I wrote my last book, which was The Risk and Rewards of Love. And so I'm just kind of jumping into that because the title of the show, Love and Life. And if we could just give a little bit more love.
Wait, Gisele, the title alone, The Risks and Rewards of Love. Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? Is it worth it? For some people it is, and for some people it may not.
Mm-hmm. So when you were writing that particular body of work, did you interview certain indivials or what?
Yes,
Tell us about that process, please.
Yeah, that process was all of my work. I published 3 books. All of my work is research based. I utilize other individuals, their experiences, their stories to guide my writing. And so I've done focus groups, I've done surveys and interviews with individuals. And so I take their stories, their journeys, and I allow it to guide my writing. And so, I am a storyteller from my heart. And so I started out as an author, and I have led my way as a film producer and in my documentary film, Who Says You Can't? African American Women in Science. And so I wrote, directed, and produced that. So yeah, I'm just kind of all over the place.
No, well, I love it. Well, no, you know what? We're women, so we are multidimensional. That's what I like. We're multidimensional.
Very true. Very true. Very true.
Yes. Yeah. Well, first, I dove right into it, but would you mind telling our family just a little bit about you, from where you come, all that good stuff?
Yeah. So I was actually born in Chicago. Chi-town, yeah. And but I graduated from a high school in Mississippi. My mother and my father were both natives of Mississippi. My father was from Lexington, Mississippi. My mother was from Liberty, Mississippi. And both of them, like so many did in that era and time, they migrated to the Midwest, North for better opportunities, right? And and so that's where I was born. My mother later, after living in Chicago for about 13 years, she came back to Liberty to care for my grandmother. And that's where I graduated and left Liberty and came on to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and went on to Southern University, A&M. And this is my home now, Louisiana. I'm a Cajun girl. I'm not a Cajun girl, but I am a Cajun girl.
Well, we love it. We love it. We love it. What do
Yeah.
they? A little good little mix of a few different
Yes.
things. We love it. We love it. So, okay, I want to get back to the books. I want to get back to that. Now, you said so quickly. You were talking about the Who Said You Can't. Now, can I call it a series? Is it a series of books or is
So
it a?
actually, it's a documentary film. It's a documentary film that is actually currently streaming on Amazon Prime and Tubi. So this is a featured documentary film, an hour and 12 minutes. Um, and the story behind this, let me just say this.
Yes.
Yeah, the story behind this, I had well, I host an event every year, annually,
Okay.
called a Celebration of Women, where I honor and recognize amazing women for their amazing accomplishments, right?
Mm.
And so I had an individual who contacted me, because these individuals that I interview are normally people just within the community. And we have other individuals that recommend individuals, women, for me to
Mhm.
honor and recognize. So I had a gentleman who was like, Gisele, there's this lady by the name of Dr. Alice Pendleton, and you really need to honor and recognize her for her work. And so I made the decision at the last minute to get her bio, read her bio, and it was absolutely incredible. And what was so touching about it was the fact that she had had a massive stroke, had
Oh,
came back from the massive stroke to go on to get her PhD and to work for NASA after
what?
the stroke, not being able to walk and not being able to talk. So she came back from that and went on to get her PhD and to go on to work for NASA. And so her story was so incredible. I really wanted to tell her story. I'd already began working on a romantic comedy,
Okay.
but it was just something about that was so inspiring. It was like, it just gave me that sense of like, we complain about the least little things, right?
Mm-hmm. We do.
But for
We do.
someone to endure this and to come back in this way, it really just motivated me. And I wanted to tell her story. And so I left, went to Houston and Hempstead, where she lived at, which is right outside of Houston.
Okay.
And I began working with her on a documentary. And that's where the title came, Who Says You Can't?
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, what a story, though. What a story. I mean, and who better? Who better?
Exactly,
who,
exactly,
who
exactly.
says you can't? So I was reading. I look. I'm so stumped on that. Everything that you just said, I'm still digesting it. I'm digesting it all, and I wanted to ask you about the films, but I'm still really stuck on her story. So I want to take a moment just to say hello to our family who is checking in. Eric shares hello. He shares he's watching Love and Life on YouTube. Oh, must be there's thunder and lightning. I'm not afraid of thunder and lightning. I hope you're he says, welcome, Gisele Haralson. Welcome. David is sharing his opinion because I was sharing about voting, and he shares, don't vote. He shares he doesn't care about the campaign. He respectfully disagrees with vote, vote, vote. And I understand. I overstand, quite naturally. He shares until either party wholeheartedly supports a Black agenda, economics, and education. Well, David, your decision to not vote is actually a decision to vote. But we'll talk about that a little later. Alfred is sharing his love and he's saying, hello, Gisele. Hi there, Alfred. Alfred Evans. Eric shares, welcome to the WURD platform, Gisele. You wear so many hats and you walk so many paths. You are truly blessed. I am so happy for you. Raphael is checking in. He's saying good evening. And Miss Lily, she shares, wow, what an incredible and resilient woman. I was with you, Miss Lily. I was so I was dumbstruck just listening to this incredible and amazing woman. And Malcolm has a comment about David. Yes, yes, we have to vote blue. We do. All right. Well, I think that's a conversation, family, that we need to have about voting. We're going to do that at another time. But we are going to talk with Gisele in this hour. And Gisele, I wanted to ask you about um, the documentaries. Now, and I was asking earlier, is it a series or is it?
It is actually a feature. And what happens is I have featured 8 African-American women in this one documentary. Okay. It is 8 African-American women who are all in the area of science. So Dr. Pendleton is who inspired me to do the documentary. But then I had a chance encounter with a phenomenal woman who is a historian. I met her and she connected and asked me, she said, Gisele, would you be willing to tell the story of the first Black nurses that were hired at the Baton Rouge General Hospital, which is here in Baton Rouge, in the 1950s.
Okay.
And she was very adamant about that story. She had been, a champion for their stories, because her mother was one of the first Black nurses to be hired at the Baton Rouge General, her mother had passed on. There was only 3 nurses that was left. And these nurses were hired in the 1950s, right? And they were hired in the hospital when Black doctors could not even come into the hospital.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So if there was a Black doctor and his patient had to go into the hospital, he had to turn his patients over to the white doctors. So the face of the medical profession at that time, at that particular time, when they were hired on, were only the Black nurses. And so there were 3 of them that were left, that's living, and they're actually still living. And I had an opportunity to sit down and to interview them and to hear their stories and tell their stories within this documentary. And so they were added onto it. Even to the point where we were able to go back on the unit, the floor that they were on, which was the 4th floor, which is 4th South. And that unit has been closed off, but we went to the administrators of the Baton Rouge General Hospital to ask them if we could film there. And so it was just such an amazing, many of them were talking about they had not been there in 30, 40 years. And so that was so special to me that we were able to bring those nurses back to the same unit that they worked at all those years ago.
That sounds so emotional, like such an emotional experience. I want to pause right here for a commercial break. Actually, I don't, but we have to take a commercial break. So family, I know you know this already, but I'm going to remind you that the phone lines are open and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. We are coming right back.
June is Black Music Month, and this year, the WURD Message in the Music series presents Trans-Afro Express, the global impact of African, Caribbean, and African American music. Join us on Friday, June 14th from 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live, 3025 Walnut Street. This event features a panel discussion, live performances, and the flyest Afrobeat, reggae, hip-hop, and R&B dance party in Philly. If you love to dance and you want to learn more about the global impact of our music, then join us Friday, June 14th from 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live. Admission is $20 in advance, $25 at the door. Get your tickets now at wordradio.com. This Black Music Month event is in partnership with Fun Times Magazine and brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery, Comcast, Keystone First, and PICO.
Only 4% of universities in the U.S. are R1 research institutions, and Temple University is one of them. This means 100% of students have the opportunity to participate in hands-on learning and research with world-class faculty. With over 600 academic programs across 17 schools and colleges, Philadelphia's largest public university provides students with a rich variety of opportunities and propels graduates to succeed in their careers. Temple University. Schedule a campus tour today at admissions.temple.edu/visit.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy. It's the month of May. I have a question. Come on now, take note. Did you register to vote during the primary? I say, did you register to vote? If you did, stand with the crowd. Yes, I voted, and I will say it loud. You don't have to fret. Just take a deep breath. June, July, August, September. Watch it now. In a minute, it's going to be November. I say watch it and remember, it's going to be November. Oh, the summertime will fool you. This you must remember. October, November. It's time to take note. Tuesday, November the 5th. It's time to vote. I say Tuesday, November the 5th. It's time to vote. This is Dr. Lucille Ijoy, and say it with me. Tuesday, November the 5th. It's time to vote.
Hi, I'm Gary LaVox. One thing you know about me is I used to be the lead singer of Rascal Flatts. But what you might not know is I now use my voice to support paralyzed veterans of America. Did you know buses and trains are accessible, but airplanes aren't? It is why I support PVA. Today, PVA is fighting for accessible air travel, a basic civil right for our nation's disabled veterans and all people with disabilities. Our nation's heroes fought for your independence. So join me in the fight for theirs at PVA.org.
Tune in June 2nd from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. for a conversation with Minnesota's Attorney General, Keith Ellison. Join co-hosts Keir Bradford Gray, Thomasine Tynes, and Wanda Davis on The Power of the Vote.
Long nose, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. We are back. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with Gisele Haralson in this hour. And family, you know, I'm normally all over the place, but tonight I am especially because there's so much to share about Gisele. When I tell you she is Superwoman, she is Superwoman. So before the commercial break, she was talking with us about a feature documentary film.
Yes.
First of all, I didn't even ask, when did you begin writing and directing films? How did that come about?
So the writing started with, let me tell you, you talk about stumbling into a profession that I actually love. I literally stumbled into this. So my background is early childhood education. That's my background. I have a master's degree in sociology, right? So, and it was by way of my master's thesis that I just stumbled into this world of writing and research. And so my thesis was on African American women's perception and attitudes on marriage.
Wow. Wait, we just had this conversation. We touched on that conversation about 2 weeks ago right here.
Oh, I was listening.
Gisele, you could have called in. You could have joined the conversation.
I know. I was like, so so that's what led me into this. And so and I could not have chosen a better topic, right? So so African American women are less likely to marry, they're less likely to stay married, and they're less likely to remarry after their marriage has ended. And so, and there's a number of different reasons that lead to this. And I was listening and watching your show as you guys were talking about some of that. And so it was that research and that thesis that led me to write my very first book, More Than Just Sex, It's the Art of the Chase. And so, because what happened was I had all this data, all this research, all this interviews, I did focus groups. I just had such a abundance of information, and everybody was asking me, what are you going to do with all that stuff? What are you going to do with that? And I was encouraged by my aunts to go ahead and to write a book. And so I wrote my very first book,
More than just sex. It's the art of the chase.
Yes. And so here we are right here. And voila, Yeah, voila, voila. And so African American women defining themselves, Black men, each other, relationships, and secrets to love and happiness.
Okay, so where?
So
Wait, no, you cannot just run away. Where do we? Where? How do we get this book? Where do we? I want
all
to
of your
research.
online platform, bookstores, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, anywhere online. That's the beautiful part about I say just Google me. just Google me. And so that's where it began. And that's where I also took the leap when it came to film and film production, because what I did was I actually wrote a script entitled The Art of the Chase. And it's a romantic comedy. I connected with my producing partner, Rachel Kadushin, out of she's in New York. And so we became connected by this organization. So IIC is it's an investment company that puts money in projects together, right?
Okay.
And at that time, she was over the entertainment component of it. We met. I sent her the script. She loved the script, and so there we began the process of producing The Art of the Chase. But while we were doing that, I came across Dr. Pendleton, and I was trying to do 2 projects at one time.
Okay. Okay. So, oh my goodness. You shared with us that your background is in child development. You had done this paper. So when did you develop this talent as a writer, a screenwriter, or what?
It was once I published I already did. So all of my writing is research based.
Okay.
All of my writing is research based.
Okay.
So
Okay.
by the time I completed my thesis, I had everything that I needed in order to do a book.
And how do you translate that to film?
That's the beautiful part of being creative. That's the beautiful part of imagination. That's the beautiful part of the area of art and storytelling. And so that's what I was able to do. I took and so the book is not an adaptation. The book is inspired by. So this is a nonfiction piece of work. This book, this is nonfiction. This is real people's lives and stories right here. It's a platform where people can tell their experiences. The Art of the Chase is a fictional piece that I was inspired by The Art of the Chase, more than just sex, is Art of the Chase. And so that's what creativity can do for you. You know, I can literally just go somewhere and be inspired. And so, I mean, you know, I travel, I can be inspired. I meet someone, I can be inspired.
I can relate and identify. As a
Yeah.
creative myself, no, I mean, that's truth. You're absolutely right about that. I mean, there's inspiration in everything. I mean, but that's
In
God.
everything.
That's God.
Oh my God.
So that's how that works. That's exactly how
and
that
I
works.
give him all the praise, all the glory, all the time. Because if it was not for my maker, there's no way I would be able to do what I do. And so with my nonprofit Child Development Institute, and you mentioned that, I try to help young people use the arts in order to express themselves.
In what ways do you do that? What do you?
So we just, about a year and a half ago during COVID, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, during COVID, we produced a music video. And I allowed the students. So one of the things that we look at when it comes to expressing ourselves, how many different ways do we express ourselves? We can express ourselves through drawings. You know, people have paint art pieces, right? We express ourselves through music. We express ourselves through the written word as a writer, acting, dancing, and speeches. There's an art to relaying messages. Some people are phenomenal at giving speeches and getting individuals to buy into what it is and to follow them. That's an art. And so I decided to work with a group of young children, and we were using words. They were drawing pictures, and we took those words and turned them into lyrics. I brought in a music producer who had worked in Atlanta, and she worked with some amazing artists like J-Lo, Usher, Jermaine Dupri, some of your great artists.
Mhm.
And we turned my home office into a music studio.
Oh,
And
nice.
we did a musical track called Creative Expressions.
I
And you
love
guys have
it.
to check it out. Yeah.
Where do we check it out? Where do we check that out?
YouTube. I
Okay.
just put it back up there because my son, who's a content creator, had actually made a mistake and deleted it. And he was so heartbroken when he did it. And so we got everything back and put it back on. And so so it's on YouTube, and it's Child Development. I'm going to put it in there. It's Child Development Institute presents Creative Expression.
Yes, please. Okay, so we have a question. Alfred has a question, and you did answer this, but if you wouldn't mind repeating it for those who may have missed the response. Alfred shares, Gisele, is the film that you wrote Who Said You Can't about one person or about many African-American women? And you...
It's about 8 African-American. Yeah, it's about 8 African-American women. All of them are different. Let me just say this right here. So we had Dr. Alice Pendleton, who was a NASA research scientist. We had the 3 Black nurses who were hired at the Baton Rouge General Hospital during segregation, right? We have a cardiologist who was the first African-American, Black African-American who owns her own practice in the state of Louisiana. We have you heard of the film Hidden Figures?
Absolutely.
Katherine Johnson of the film Hidden Figures, Taraji played her. Her granddaughter is featured in the documentary. Her name is Catherine. She's named after her grandmother. She's a science teacher, and she is featured in the film. She's the bridge to our next generation of African Americans in the area of science.
Wow.
Look, COVID happened right when we were almost at the end of the documentary. And so we went back, we added a portion about COVID. And so we had a young lady who was a doctoral candidate who majored in viruses.
Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. And you said this was available for us to see on all media outlets. I want to ask you about that too. Alfred has a follow-up question. He wants to know, how many books have you written?
I've written 3 books. That was the first one. My second book is When Money Meets Seduction. They're all quite steamy, but the thing about this is that they're all research-based. And the beautiful part about this is that I used to teach financial management, okay? And this is one thing that is so very important, especially for women.
What is this book about? When Money
Meets Seduction, inspiring financial lessons of women who connected with money and power. And so the ideal behind this book is, and I say this all the time, women, we have to be in control of our finances. We have to.
How about
you better. And I don't care who you have as your husband, as your boyfriend, as your children's father, it doesn't matter. You have to understand how to handle your money. And that's what this book is all about. It's about individuals, women, understanding how to manage their money.
Which is so important.
Which is so very important. We can have a show on that.
Yes. We absolutely could. That is so important. I'm sorry, Alfred, and your third book, because I got stuck on that.
The Risk and Rewards of Love. Is it worth it? And I wrote this one during COVID. So, for me, that the whole, and it was such it was such a very difficult time during COVID. But as a creator, my creative juices just flowed. I completed the documentary. I wrote my third book. And then I did a music video with young people. And so
You said I did not let any grass grow under my feet. I love it. Listen, I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to talk more about Child Development Institute, but I
Yes.
also want to talk about Gisele on air.
Yes.
Now, okay, so right now, I want to go to Child Development Institute because we'll go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll
Yeah.
talk about Gisele on air. But Child Development Institute. So please talk with us about it really
So
quickly.
so, look, once I began this whole area of the arts, right, as a film producer,
Mhm.
as a writer,
Mhm.
my world it became, it just became very overwhelming. One thing about when you write a book, one thing that I was able to do is I went on a book tour, right? I went on a book tour. I knew when I wrote the first book that I wanted to turn around and write something that was geared toward money and finances, because I truly believe that that is very, very important, right? And
Mhm.
so I was doing this tour and just found myself really engulfed in the whole area of art, writing, producing.
Mhm.
But my passion and love are children. I love children. And so I used to be, I was in the classroom, I was teaching adults, I was teaching child development, I was teaching parenting education, I was teaching financial management. I love that whole idea of education. I'm an educator, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I found myself not being with my little people. I just love children. So therefore, I started my nonprofit, which is Child Development Institute. And so, matter of fact, we've done several camps. I just recently did a camp where we allowed children to use their phones to produce a film.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
did, not too
I
right before
love
that.
that.
Yeah, they use their phones or smartphones in order to produce a film. Um, Before that, I did a blues camp. So every so often, I do workshops
Okay.
for young people through my nonprofit, and so that keeps me in touch with the young
Yeah, with the
students,
baby. With the
my
baby.
babies. I
Yes, the
love them.
baby. Listen,
I
I
love them.
love the babies. So that
I
speaks
know.
to my heart.
Yeah,
Family,
yeah,
we're,
yeah.
we're time for us to take another commercial break, but we are coming right back. So stay with us because we will be right back.
Hey everybody, do you hear those drums? Guess what? It's Odunde time. I'm so excited. I hope that you are too. We are celebrating the 49th year. Can you believe it? The 49th year of the Odunde Festival. We have a week of events from June 2nd to June 8th, and everything will culminate on Sunday, June 9th for the Odunde Festival located at 23rd and South Streets. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see you and your family. And guess what? This year, guess who our headliner is? Drew Hill. Yes, Drew Hill will be hitting the South Street stage at 23rd and South Streets at 7 p.m. I'll see you there. And for more information, please go to odundefestival.org.
If you're caring for one of the 16 million Americans living with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, you probably have many questions. COPD makes it harder to breathe and worsens over time. As a caregiver, you may juggle many roles. Being connected to the right resources can help. That's why the Learn More, Breathe Better program and Respiratory Health Association created the COPD Caregivers Toolkit. This free toolkit will help you better understand the disease, prepare for doctor's appointments, navigate home life changes, help after a COPD flare-up, and stay mentally and physically healthy through it all. Help your loved one live better with COPD. Visit nhlbi.nih.gov/COPD-caregivers.
Tune in this Saturday at 8 a.m. for Conversations with the Commissioners, hosted by Chairman Omar Sabir. Learn more about voting and how elections are run in Philadelphia by joining the conversation exclusively on Word Radio, Black Talk Media.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black Talk Media, WURD.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
And we are back. Family, welcome back to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with Gisele Haralson. And I was sharing before the break that Giselle's going to share with us about her radio show. But before we do that, one of our family members is on the phone line and has been waiting to talk with us. Tyrone, are you still there? And if so, welcome to the conversation. And thank you so much for calling.
You know, I'm not going nowhere, my love, until I say hello to you.
Hi.
And thank you. And thank your guest for just touching my heart because, you know, one of the things that is missing, and I mean missing, really missing, is giving our children the opportunity to show their brilliance. I say it all the time. Our young folks are brilliant. They just need to be in those pathways, having those bridges, you know, those connectivities of allowing them to just show that precious gift that God has given our young people. So to hear my sister talk about child development, it just touches my heart because, you know, our young folks are just going through so much. And if they wasn't going through the tremendous challenges, the violence, the killing, ain't no telling where our young folks could go because they have a gift. And, you know, I just want to shout out to my family. We had another burial today with a homegoing service for my cousin. And my wife's birthday, our 70th birthday was Friday. And, you know, after her birthday, we celebrate with the adults. We always have a little get-together. We had 13 great-grands. So we have a great-grand birthday celebration. And I'm just telling you, to see those 2, 3, 4-year-olds interact with those 5, 6, or 7 years old, and then get to see those, you know, 13 and 14-year-olds, you know, mingling together. I'm just saying, if our children wasn't living in this catastrophe of violence, hate, of oppression, and, you know, racial discrimination, if they wasn't living through all that, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't see the type of violence and the disrespect and the destruction that we see our young folks are embedded in. So I just want to thank you for this, and I'm definitely going to be following up on you because child development is truly an answer, because if we get them young, then we can catch them before they get to that teenage age where their gift can really shine brightly, and folks can see what God has installed in all of our children. So peace and blessings to the both of you. I just love you for having this moment because it's all about love. And once we realize how important love is, the world will certainly go round. So thank you. I love you.
I love you more. And you tell the missus I said happy belated birthday.
Yeah,
Please.
you talking to her. Yes, yes.
Happy belated, love light. Happy belated.
And God has really blessed me with this young lady because, we've been together 58 of those 70 years. And we've been
Wow.
married. We've been married 50 of them. So,
Oh,
God has really, have really blessed me to
what a
give me this.
tremendous blessing.
Wow.
Yes, Lord. I just hope I'm a blessed as much of a blessing to her as she to me.
You better laugh when you say it. You know you are. She loves you just as much, if not more.
Yes, yes, yes. So, sister, please keep sharing the message. Keep trying to lift up our children, our young folks, because right now they're going through some trying times. And anytime we can pat them on their back, anytime we can connect them to goodness, connect them to love, hey, they're going to do much, much better. Love y'all.
Love you more, Tyrone. Oh my
Oh my
goodness. That was
God.
a hug to my heart. Do you hear?
I
I
don't,
know.
I don't know which way to, oh my God, I don't even know which way to go. The ideal that they were married for all those years, because that's a part of my research, the rewards. So individuals who are in solid, long-term marriages and relationships, they are happier, they're healthier. So two is always better than one, but it has to be the right two.
Yes, right there, Giselle. That right there. That right there.
Be the right
You
two,
know,
not any two.
before we go further, let me share. Ms. Lily shares, Sis Giselle, I will definitely watch your documentary series on Prime. She shares, you are definitely a woman wearing multiple hats. Kudos to you. Um, uh, uh, Miss Lily, she shares, Brother Tyrone, I wholeheartedly agree with you. Happy belated birthday to your wife. And Alfred shares, you honored your wife. That is what a real man does. And Alfred, I see your comment, and that's where I'm going to because I'm looking at the time. Alfred is asking about your website or how do you spell your name? I want all of that. So this is what I'm going to ask if you can break down for us. Family, in the comments is the information to watch the video on YouTube. But Giselle, if you wouldn't mind, please share with us the website about everything.
Yeah.
About
So
everything. And
everything.
where we can buy your books, if you could
Yeah.
repeat the titles of them again, all of that. And the
All that
name
good
of the
stuff.
documentary.
Yes. So, and this is what I ask individuals, please, please, please follow me on social media and watch my journey, right? And all of it is Gisele Haralson. So my website is just Gisele Haralson, GiselleHaralson, GiselleHaralson.com. And I'm going to put it in the chat. The film can be purchased. You can go on my website. That's my website, Gisele Haralson. Everything is clear cut. Gisele Haralson. I made this very easy, Carol. I made this very easy. And so I'm actually typing my name in the chat. But let me say this right here in regards to this Child Development Institute. The lyrics to creative expression are so powerful. I want you all to listen to the lyrics of these young kids and what they're saying. And if there's anything that I've done, and it's been quite a few things, the work that I do when it comes to youth and youth development is so very important to me. It really is, because that's what he just talked about. Our young people need positive outlets.
Yes,
and that's why I want them to be able to use the arts in whatever form to express themselves.
Giselle, I want to ask you one more question. The film. Can you share with us the title of it one more time, please?
And the title of it is Who Said You, I'm putting it in the area, you can't, African American Women in Science. Who says you can't? African American Women in Science.
Okay. And I did read that you've also begun production on your next film.
Yes. So let me tell you this right here. So I am actually wanting, and you mentioned a series, and you must be just divinely connected in this way, Carol, because I'm thinking, and we're working on, okay, Who Said You Can't? African American Women in Science. We're working on another project that I want to go under the umbrella of Who Says You Can't, which is Who Says You Can't Create Generational Wealth.
See, okay. So there you have it. The series. We need the series, Gisele. We need the series.
You kept saying, is it a series?
It's to me.
That is where we're going with this. And we have actually started production on it.
See, it was speaking to me. So I felt that. I
am loving it.
Oh,
and so
we have 2 minutes. Can you talk with us about the radio show? I told you.
Oh my God. So yes. So, and let me just say this right here. So I am a person who works to empower women, right? But guess what? I have a handsome son. So this Who Says You Can't? African American Women in Science, although the documentary gears toward women in the area of science, because we want young people to know that it's possible. Not only girls, we want African American boys and girls to know that it is possible. Representation matters.
It does.
Right?
Gisele,
it matters.
We've got about 30 seconds. Tell me about the radio show. We want to know where, how, all that good
Gisele
stuff.
on Air. All you have to do is Google it. I host a show. I have women coming on talking about their struggles, their drive. Gisele on Air. And I'm going to put it in the chat.
When does it air?
It airs every fourth Thursday of the month.
Every
fourth Thursday of the month at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
At 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. All right. We're going to look for it. Gisele, thank you. Thank
you so much. And I am sending that. Voila.
There we have it. I'm going to share that in the chat. And you know what? Please do come back to visit with us. I mean, there was so much about which to talk that we have to share. You know, you have to come back and talk with us again.
And this time goes by so fast. But I'm a family member now, right?
Yeah. What? You already what? Yes. What? We can't wait to see you the next time. Okay. Oh my goodness, family, stay with us. We're going to commercial break, but we have another phenomenal woman for you to talk with when we come back. She's already a family member too. So stay with us because we'll be right back.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed on Evening Words.
Senator Lori Berman is a lifelong Democrat who's fought hard for progressive values. On the day that the Dodd decision came, on the day that essentially Roe v. Wade was overturned, what was happening in your office and in your workspace as that decision came down the pipe?
Yeah, I have been in the Florida legislature now for 14 years, and it was during the summer when Roe v. Wade was overturned, so we were not in the legislative session. But I remember being so sad and so disappointed to hear that it had been overturned. I was not totally surprised, unfortunately, because the way the court had been stacked, we had been anticipating something like this. And we knew that Florida and many other states were going to also make it harder for people to get abortions because Roe v. Wade was overturned. Roe v. Wade was really the one thing that was stopping all these states from having very, very restrictive abortion laws. And now that's exactly what happened.
And that's your hottest 60 seconds from Evening Words on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Every day, thousands of Comcast engineers and technologists like Oluseyi put people at the heart of everything they create.
Some of my favorite moments throughout my life are watching sports with my dad. Now I work at Comcast as part of the team that created our AI highlight technology, which uses AI to detect the major plays in a sports game.
And now, millions of sports fans will never miss a moment. Visit ComcastCorporation.com to learn more.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the PIAA and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Directors Association.
Tune in this Saturday from 5 to 6 p.m. for the Islam Today show with a perspective on moral guidance and Islamic principles and values.
Having low income can mean making tough choices. Choosing between paying for food or medication or a place to live is a reality for many people. Do you know someone who could use some extra help? Find out about the Supplemental Security Income Program, SSI, administered by Social Security. You could receive monthly SSI payments if your income and financial resources are low and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability or who is blind. SSI is money you can use to help pay for basic needs, like putting food on the table, keeping the lights on, paying the rent. It can mean new shoes for growing feet or help with medical needs. Call 1-800-772-1213 or visit ssa.gov/SSI to schedule an appointment or start to apply today. That's ssa.gov/SSI. This message produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Good morning. It's Solomon Jones, host of the hottest morning show on radio. Wake up with Word. Listen weekdays from 7 to 10 a.m. for laughter, for fun, for politics, for family, for more than you can imagine. Check it out every day, Monday through Friday. Wake up with Word on 96.1 FM, 900 AM, WURD.
We are the home of progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Welcome back, family. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life with Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. I do have something I want to share with you. You know, I have reminders. I always do. Always do. The first of which is about Message in the Music, our Message in the Music event. So as you know, June is Black Music Month, and this year, the Word Message in the Music series presents Trans Afro Express, the global impact of African, Caribbean, and African American music. Join us Friday, June 14th from 6 until 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live, located at 3025 Walnut Street. This event features a panel discussion, live performances, and the flyest Afrobeat, reggae, hip hop, and R&B dance party in Philly. So if you love to dance and you want to learn more about the global impact of our music, then join us on Friday, June 14th from 6 until 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live. Admission is $20 in advance and only $25 at the door. Get your tickets now, family, at wordradio.com. This Black Music Month event is in partnership with Fun Times Magazine and is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery, Comcast, Keystone First, and PECO. I want to mention something else to you. Now, our very own love bug, Tiffany Bacon, is hosting a new show. Tune in to Breaking Bread every Sunday, where Tiffany will broadcast from a different restaurant, eatery, or chef's kitchen, where delicious delights and curious conversation are on the menu. Special guests will join Tiffany for brunch, where the conversations will focus on culture, business, health, and well-being, media, literature, and the arts. Break bread with us every Sunday from 11 a.m. until noon, right here on Word, Progressive Black Talk Media. Family, I told you I have another superwoman that I want to introduce you to. Yes, I do. Well, look no further. Her name is Ericka Nicole. She is a brand founder. She's a podcaster. She's a wife, and she's an active member of her church community, striving to have a positive impact on the world at large. She is the founder of Silken, her own luxury skincare brand. She's also the host and founder of the podcast Behind the Silk, which is a platform dedicated to helping, I'm going to say everybody, prioritize self-care from a holistic perspective. Family, I welcome you to the conversation with Ericka Nicole. Hi there, beautiful.
Hi, how are you? Oh,
I
thank
am
you.
well, thank you. I am well, so well. First of all, just welcome, welcome, welcome. The family welcomes you, welcome to the family and all that good stuff. I was reading the information about you. Like tonight's episode made me so happy because we have these powerful women on tonight. You and Gisele, who was in the first hour, just make me go. You can see all of my teeth, can't you? Any event, just reading about your story. I'm so excited to share with our family members. Can you first begin by telling our family members from where you come, where you grew up, all of that good stuff, just a little about you?
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you for having me. I love your voice. I'm obsessed. Like, I love it. It's giving everything it needs to give, but my name is Ericka Nicole. I am from Westchester, New York, born and raised. You gave such a great intro. I don't know what to add. Yeah, I'm a skincare founder. I have a podcast. We're going to get into it all. So I'm really excited for this conversation.
Okay, first, thank you for that, by the way. I read that you left a career in forensic science to start, to build your brand, to start your brand.
I did.
Please talk with us about that, please, because that was a pivotal moment in life. That
It was. Yeah, so absolutely. So my background is in forensic science and pre-med. That is what I went to school for. My goal was always to be a forensic coroner for the FBI. Like that is what I wanted to do. I loved crime scene. I loved all the gore of it all, the science behind it all. Like I was just obsessed. So post-grad, that's what I did. I spent some time in crime scene working for my local police department. I then transitioned into toxicology. I was doing lab work. And maybe about 2 years afterwards, like post-grad, I just wasn't feeling fulfilled. I just wasn't feeling it anymore. I had plans to go to med school. I didn't really want to do that either. Didn't know how I was going to explain that to my parents. I spent all this money and time on a degree that I don't want to use anymore. That wasn't going to work well. So there was just like a lot going on. I was just so unfulfilled. And then it was that same year that I suffered a very traumatic loss. My dad actually passed away unexpectedly around the same time. So my life was just flipped upside down. Thank you. I was unfulfilled, unhappy. So I was like, you know what? F it. So I decided to up and quit my job. I decided to travel for the last 6 months of 2019, really spent some time just trying to figure out what I wanted to do, what my purpose was. I call it my self-care sabbatical. And that was honestly the best time of my life thus far. I mean, so much mental clarity came from that trip. So it was just great. And I was traveling all across the US, the Caribbean, just such a great time. And of course, that was the end of 2019. I came back 2020, prepped and ready to rejoin the workforce. Obviously, that did not happen. The world had other plans for us. But it was during that time I realized that while I was traveling, my skin was behaving differently in different environments. So my skin in New York was different than my skin in the dry air of Arizona versus the humidity of the Caribbean. So I was like, oh, there has to be something here. So I fell back on my pre-med forensic background and started doing all of this research and due diligence on environmental stressors, on skin and the microbiome and all this sciencey stuff. And I was like, there's something here. And it was a couple years later that Silken was born, and here we are.
OMG. You just said it so eloquently. And then this, and then that, and then Ericka Nicole, that is a lot of life, but it's beautiful. I mean, beautiful. So I want to begin at the very beginning of the story you just shared with us. What did you do on your self-care sabbatical? I love that, by the way. I put that in my pocket. Self-care sabbatical.
Yeah, I just traveled. I unplugged. I remember I remember I was in the parking lot of the toxicology lab that I was working at, and I called my boyfriend at the time. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was like, I'm quitting. Like, I'm just over it. And typically he's like the more logical ones. I was expecting him to say, no, babe, like it's fine when you get home, like we'll talk about it. No,
Right.
he was like, okay. And I was like, huh? Oh, okay. So 2 days later, I went and I quit and just spent time traveling. I was very intentional about spending time with myself. I think that was something that I really, really wanted to do. I spent time writing and journaling and reading for fun, not reading for education even.
Mhm.
And it was really just those small things, I think really just gave me a different taste for life, you know, because I was like, I want my life to be like this all the time. So what do I need to do to get to this point?
That part right there. I want my life to be like this all the time. When you have those moments that you just want to bottle up, and it sounds to me like you did just that. You bottled up those moments. Alfred, one of our love lights, is sharing wonderful, and he follows that up with sharing courage and wisdom equal success. Another love light, Miss Lily, she shares, well, welcome, Sister Ericka. So the family is talking. We're all in love with your story. We're all in love with you. And this is just amazing. So when you first said, okay, I'm going to look into this, after your self-care sabbatical, I have to keep saying it because I'm holding on to that. After your self-care sabbatical, you said, okay, like what was it that said to you, and I know you shared with us, you noticed how your skin behaved differently in different areas, climates, and what have you, but what was it that made you say, okay, yeah, I'm really going to look into this, as opposed to just saying, oh, well, that was interesting, like,
Yeah. So when I first realized there was something here, at first, like I just never had the thought of creating a skincare brand. Like I don't have the resources, I don't have the money, I don't have the network. How do you even go about sourcing any of this information? So like it was just a passing thought at first. But then as I started to really like dig through the weeds of it all, I was like, oh, okay. And YouTube University is really where it started. Like a lot of self-education, you know, understanding how to find manufacturers, how to build pitch decks, how to build your team, like all these different things. So it was not a linear journey by any means. Like there were a lot of ups and downs, trials and tribulations to get us to this point. But yeah, I was just doing a lot of due diligence. And when I realized, we can talk about the skincare brand a little bit later, but like our core focus is really protecting skin from environmental stressors. Like that is like that's the core of the brand. And specifically catering to those that live in urban areas. So people that live in New York, for example, like we deal with smog and pollution and hard water and UV rays and all these things that are killing our skin barrier and skin microbiome. So it was like, we need something for us. And then 82% of Americans actually live in urban areas, and 1 in 4 Americans have a chronic skin condition. So I'm like, there's a market here. we need solutions.
You know what? I love, at the core of it all, I'm hearing you say, I stood still and God spoke to me, because basically that you had clarity when you stood still, when you just took time for yourself, when you took time to love on you, you had clarity, which is,
Absolutely.
I love that. So it was, how did that process work? Did you look at the different environments and like how the research? Can you tell me about? I want to know all about the research behind this. How the process worked? How you were able to, like zone in on what products would work well? And
Yeah, I don't want to get too sciencey, but like understanding the effects that pollution have on our skin and how all of these things really disrupt the barrier and really cause all of these skin concerns. I didn't feel like there were any solutions that really catered to that. So I started off looking at different manufacturers. It took me almost a year to find the proper manufacturer. A lot of them wanted to use like stock formulas, and they didn't really get the vision of the brand. And then I had one situation where I thought it was the manufacturer, and there was a lot of money lost there, and it just wasn't the one, and having to pick up and rebuild. But finally found someone that we were able to work with. And then I went through the struggles of trying to build my team, someone to help me with packaging and design and marketing.
Right.
Went through another failed experience. There was a lot of money lost here, okay, during this process. That's why I say like it was not a journey. It was very much trial and error, but resilience. There was a lot of resilience.
Here you are talking with us about the brand. Here you are, about you're also going to share with us about your podcast, Behind the Silk. But I mean, I think it's important. It's so important that we know that. And listen, you can get sciencey with me because I love all of that.
Okay.
I love all of that. I mean,
Okay, perfect.
Yes, I studied criminal justice, and I was so interested in all of that.
Okay.
So, yes.
You should have led with that part.
Right. But see, the family didn't know that until just now. They did not know that about me. So I was sharing that, for just to offer some comfort. But I'm a nerd. So I
love it. So we can talk about like particulate matter and the skin microbiome and probiotic approach and like all these different things.
I love all
we can
of
nerd
that.
out.
I love all of that. We can talk crime and skin. I love it all. I love it all. So
and the irony of it all is like when I was studying forensics, I was actually doing research on the microbiome to determine cause of death, like in that capacity. So it's so crazy how it all kind of came full circle, like, using my passion and the research I had done prior to and kind of just transforming it into something else.
You hear this, family? Do you hear this? Alfred is sharing that your persistence is amazing and admirable. I have to echo that. I love like Miss Joanne. Joanne, she shares such an intelligent young lady who opted for her happiness. I'm in agreement with that too. So you were sharing with us about some of the hurdles you shared. Like I said, I think that is so important because we oftentimes, because we have a small window of time, we oftentimes find talking about the journey like, yeah, we did this, and now we're here, and we kind of skip those little pieces that are important when you talk about that part of the journey. About, you said it was about how long did it take for you to find an actual manufacturer with which you were a year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just finding someone to formulate.
And that's important.
The most important part.
Yes. Yes. That's at the core of your product.
Right.
Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. Wow. So I love the title. I will say silken. I love, especially when you're talking about skin.
Right.
So,
I'm glad you see the vision. You see the vibe.
Yes, I feel it. And behind the silk, I see what you did there, Ericka.
Okay.
I like that too. So, okay. So how long ago did you start the company? How long ago was it that you were in the, like you said, okay, now here we are, we're done. This is it. We are ready.
Yep. So I would say it was ideated in 2020, but I really didn't start working on building it. Like 2020 was all research and me really just diving in and gaining the confidence to pursue this. Again, I didn't have any resources. So I spent maybe 2020 researching and educating myself. And then it wasn't until 2021 where I took the first step and I just started, finding the manufacturers and doing all of that interesting stuff. So I mean, and we're in 2024 now. So I mean, we're 3 years in the making. This was not like an overnight thing. This took a very long time. So yeah, working on building the team, I've had people come and go. And I say this all the time, like your team when building a business is the most important thing. The people that you have surrounding you, the people that you decide to help you build your thing can literally make or break your business. And I learned that lesson for sure.
Oh my goodness. No, that's so true. That is so true. I commend you. I really do, for your persistence, because you said you did not, this is not from where you came. You said, I wasn't planning on building a skincare brand, but it was planted. The seed was planted and you stayed with it. You said, what was it? I'm curious to know now in this moment, what was it that made you want to to stay with it, since this was not an area from which you came. You came from 10 blocks away, and what
Mm-hmm.
was it that made you say, no, this is it? No, this is exactly it. I mean, separate and apart from you saying, I realize there's a market for this. There's some,
Mm-hmm.
but what was it in your spirit? What spoke to your spirit most?
I still ask myself that question all the time because sometimes I still feel like a psycho for really pursuing this the way that I have, because it really doesn't make sense if you really trace it back. But, I joke about it all the time, but I truly believe like we all have a calling and we all have a purpose. And I feel like, not to get too spiritual, but like I feel like God really puts us all here for a reason. And there was just something about it I just couldn't shake. I mean, I have tried to walk away from this brand 3 or 4 times, let's be clear. Like I was like over it. But every time I tried to walk away, like I just could not. Like I would dream about it. I would just feel it when I wasn't working on it. I just didn't feel complete. And for me, I was like, this is a calling. Like this is more than just a business and just a brand. Like I really feel that there's a calling here and that there's a mission with the brand that's just bigger than myself. So it shifted my mindset to that, like, I'm not just doing this for me, like I'm doing this for a bigger purpose. And I think that's what's been keeping me motivated thus far, because it's hard.
Isn't it? I know starting a business is hard, but once again, I commend you and I thank you. I thank you because, especially with the statistics that you shared with us, that's all of us. That's all of us.
Yeah.
So, and we do need some help. You listen, you already know. Family, welcome, 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 welcome. If you have just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are joined with Ericka Nicole in this hour, and she is talking with us about her brand, Silken. It's a luxury skin care brand. Yes, I'm excited to know all about it. But she's also going to share with us a little bit later about her podcast, Behind the Silk. I do see that some of our love lights are continuing to check in. I see you there, Miss Rosalind. She's saying hello. She's sharing love, and she's giving all of us our flowers while we are here. And I so adore that. And we're giving you yours as well. Family, I always tell you this, but I'm going to remind you in this moment, you're always welcome to the conversation. Every conversation we have, you are included. So if you'd like to join this particular conversation, feel free to give us a call. You can do so by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can even call us toll free. You can do that by dialing 1-866-361-0900. We're going to take just a short commercial break, but we're coming right back. Okay, so stay with us.
The job search can be a difficult and frustrating process. Word's Livelihood Initiative was designed to help you find the right opportunity for your next professional move. Check out these recent openings posted on the Livelihood job board at wordworks.com. The Public Health Management Corporation is hiring for exciting roles, including a medical director and registered nurses. For more information on these jobs and others, go to wordworks.com and learn more about the Livelihood Initiative. Brought to you by Word Radio. Progressive Black Talk Media.
Meet Amanda. She loves to start her day by heading to her favorite coffee shop.
Morning, Amanda. Black coffee, no sugar.
Then, she usually takes the long way to share a little treat with Coco, Mrs. Lopez's little terrier. And when Amanda arrives to open the Keystone First Wellness and Opportunity Center, Mr. Freeman is always there.
You always on time, Amanda.
Always on time, Mr. Freeman.
Amanda has been a community health educator at Keystone First for over 15 years. She knows this community as well as the community knows her. As a local health plan, we don't only take care of members. For over 35 years, we have known them as neighbors, friends, and family. As Southeastern Pennsylvania's largest medical assistance managed care health plan, our roots run deep. Visit KeystoneFirstPA.com to learn how we can help you get care and stay well.
I love this song! I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Tune into Word Radio this Thursday at 10 a.m. for City Council Live, hosted by Ernest Owens. Join conversations that matter to your community with your local City Council members.
Want the latest in word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. It's the shop tab on wordradio.com. You can look good and show the world that you're all about Black Talk Media.
No, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with Ericka Nicole, and she is talking with us about her luxury skincare brand, Silkim. Ericka, I am curious to know, and I know our family members want to know as well, what are some of the products that you offer?
Yeah, so we're currently pre-launch, but we are launching with a mask, a serum, and a moisturizer. So that's really our three-step system to remove, repair, and protect your skin barrier.
Mask, a serum, and a moisturizer. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Okay.
I'm a
okay.
serum junkie, so I love me a good serum. That's
Me
like our hero product.
Me too. Oh my goodness. I love serums and a good toner. I've been
Yes.
yes, yeah, right.
People sleep on toners.
Oh, they do.
It's a step that a lot of people skip.
They do. I'm telling you, but when I first began using it, that was it for me. When I noticed,
You feel the difference.
Yes, you do. My skin feels so clean. Which I know I know you're saying Carol is crazy. Yes, I am, but you know that already. But there's truth in what I say in this moment. I feel my skin feels clean when I use it.
There's levels to clean. There's levels.
Yes.
You have to be a skincare person and know, but there's levels to this thing.
There are. Oh my goodness. Eric, one of our love lights, is sharing. Hi, Ericka. Thanks for joining the WURD platform this evening. I was curious, what is your favorite skincare product that you sell, and what is the most popular seller in your skincare line?
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, we're currently pre-launch, but our serum is by far my favorite product. So much love and care has gone into this product. So our serum, it's a probiotic serum, so it's really catered to balancing your skin microbiome. So think of it as like kombucha, but for your skin. So the same way that you take probiotics for your gut health, you basically use our serum for your overall skin health. And we call it Rebound because it basically helps your skin rebound from the day, basically. And it's super good at calming inflammation and hydrating. So those chronic skin conditions that we were talking about earlier, like acne, eczema, rosacea, all of those things are inflammatory skin conditions. And inflammation is typically like the biggest harm in all areas of our body. So that by far is favorite product. I stand on that.
I love that. Are they full body products, or are they specifically for the face or the
face and neck?
Face and neck. Got that. Got that. Got that.
Don't forget the neck.
You are so right about that. Alfred asked, are the products also for men?
Yes, they are gender neutral.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Even down to the design, we really took that into consideration. Even with picking our color palettes and packaging, we really want to make it feel very universal.
And I was about to ask you, so with your skincare line, is it focused on skin for people of color, or is it for all ethnicities?
Yeah, so our products are safe for all skin tones and types. However, we have gone the extra step to test on melanated skin, which a lot of brands don't do. So we make sure that we kept us in mind when formulating these products. Absolutely. They are very melanin forward.
You're speaking to me, Ericka Nicole. You're speaking to me. Oh, okay. So, all right. You were sharing with us about your self-care sabbatical. I want to know from that experience, what would be your suggestion to anyone who has like a busy lifestyle, a busy schedule about self-care? And what would you suggest?
Ooh, I think the biggest thing I've took away from that trip was that we have to be very intentional about loving on ourselves.
Mhm.
It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle, the bustle, the grind culture, especially when you live in the big cities and, you're always on go mode. So being
It's true.
intentional is something that I've really picked up. I mean, to the point where I time block my schedule because mind you, like I'm launching this brand, I have the podcast, I still work full time. I'm a wife. I serve at my church. Like I do a lot of things, and I still make time for happy hour. Like it's a lot. So really trying to prioritize relationships. So time blocking is a thing. So every evening, even for example, like I make sure that I spend 30 minutes doing skincare.
Mhm.
Skincare for me is like my self care time of that. But I really preach that everyone find their thing,
Mm.
find the thing that you enjoy. For some people, it's the 5 a.m. gym. I am not that person, but it's
I
finding
get
whatever your thing is that brings you peace in doing that. And so on Saturdays, I have my longer self-care days. And because like my husband knows when I bring the speaker into the bathroom,
Oh, it's over.
do not disturb. Do not disturb.
It
This is
is
me
a
time.
wrap. I love it. I love it. So where will we be able to find Silken?
Yeah, so you can sign up to our wait list on our website, www.silken.com. We are planning to launch Q1 of next year, so you can kind of keep an eye out for that. But we have a lot of fun things in the works, a lot of in-person events, panels. We're traveling to different cities to promote the brand. So you just want to be a part of the community. So you should just join the wait list so you can be in the
And you're
know.
absolutely right. You are absolutely. Can you spell Silken for us, please?
Yes, Silken is Silkenn.
I wanted to make sure I don't want anybody signing up for the wrong site. I wanted to know where to go, where to go. So we've been
Yes.
talking briefly about the podcast. Can you share more about your podcast? Tell us all there is to know.
Yeah, so the podcast is called Behind the Silk. You mentioned the play on words before. It's very accurate. And I really just wanted an extension of the conversation of Silken. Silken is very face forward, it's very external beauty. But I just felt like there's a bigger conversation to be had from a holistic perspective about self-care, and really talking about beauty from the internal perspective. So we talk about all things self-care from fitness, diet, nutrition, mental health, spirituality, like all of those things to really prioritize self-care from a holistic perspective because it all matters. You can't neglect one and focus on the other. So it's just an extension of the conversation, and we're building a super awesome community over there that I'm just so proud of. I love my BTS family.
Oh, look at you, family. For those of you who cannot see Ericka Nicole right now, if you could see her smile, OMG. I'm sure you've felt it. So where would we be able to catch the podcast and at what time does it come on? All of that good stuff.
Yeah, so
We need
Behind the Silk is
everything Ericka
available on
Nicole.
I got you, girl. Behind the Silk is available everywhere. Okay, everywhere you can get a podcast is there. I promise you. Are definitely our biggest ones. You can follow us on social media at Behind the Silk. We post a lot over there. I'm super active on stories in the DMs. Am I missing anything? I feel like that's everything.
I want to make sure. Wait, I want to make sure. Okay, so we have Behind the Silk for the podcast. The website for the luxury skincare brand is www.silken with two N's.com. That's
Silkenco.com.
See, okay, we
can't
didn't
get that wrong. Can't get that wrong.
No, Silkenco. Let me do that, family.
Yes.
Scratch the first one. Silkenco.com.
There we go.
Silkenco.
That's right.
Please spell that for us because I want to make sure before I put this in the chat, the correct.
SILKENNCO.com.
Now, what happened there? What was going on? What happened there? I'm talking.
You jumped off.
I'm talking to you, and then I see. I said, "Wait a minute!" Now, all I asked for was the website. That's all I asked for.
We'll go through it again. It's okay.
Thank you.
That's Silken with 2 N's. SILKENNCO.com.
Okay, family. I'm going to put the corrected website. The correct name of the website in SILKENNCO.com.
They wanted too much for that other domain, so we had to add CO at the end.
I'm not mad at you for that. I am so not mad at you for that. And they will get you, won't they? They will rob you blind. But you know what? And that's actually one of the things that we don't talk about when starting a business, because there's so many small things that they play a big part in launching your brand, in maintaining and sustaining your brand. Something as small as, well, we say it's something as small as a website because it's it can be small, but it plays a big part. It plays,
and it's still a monthly expense,
and will forever be. OMG. And the expense of having it, the existence of it, but also if you need to pay someone to manage it, because that's an additional expense, and you need, listen, we could that when I tell you that's a whole conversation, but it is relevant and it is necessary, because when we talk about starting businesses, there's some things that you just don't know. You just don't know.
Absolutely. I have that conversation with people a lot of time too. Like, people are very surprised that I still work 9 to 5 and like do all of these things. Like, the business has to get funded somehow. I have a lot of friends who just want to quit their job and just start something. And you can absolutely do that. But I like security. So I'm gonna just keep the job until the business takes off.
Wait, I like the way you said with security. Okay, I like the way you said that. You said that with security. Okay, I understand. So what kind of hours during the day do you work for your regular job?
A standard 8 to 5. My paying job currently is an 8 to 5.
8 to 5. And then come home and work the remainder of the night.
From 5 to 1 is everything else.
Wow. Family, welcome. We are talking with Ericka Nicole in this hour. Welcome to Love and Life with Carol Riddick. I want to say, first of all, when I was reading about you, so family, I'm sharing this with you for those of you who have just joined us. Ericka Nicole had a career, a lifestyle in forensic science and pre-medicine, if you will. And she said, no. I need to figure out what I want to do. And life took a different direction. So she now has a luxury skincare brand, and she is the founder and host of her own podcast, Behind the Silk. I must say that I so love your focus, your drive. I'm loving this conversation. I'm so loving this conversation. It's just awesome to speak with you, and I'm going to keep saying that. Our love light, Miss Rosalind, she shares, make sure you look at the fine print or they will rob you. This is true, talking about those websites and everything else that you have to pay for when starting a business.
It's never too early to invest in legal counsel.
No, it really, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Alfred shares business has expenses, yet the reward and the sharing with the public is rewarding. Yes, it is. It is. And he also shares that he loves your focus.
Thank you.
You're infectious. I think we all do. We all do.
Stop it.
No, really. I'm telling you. Probably tell her. Listen, because that's what we do here. especially on Love and Life. You know, we advocate for one another, but we pour into one another as well. Now we're going to set you straight. We're going to check you if you come to us incorrectly, but we're going to do it with love. Okay, we're going to do
We
it.
love
with
it.
love. Yes. So the podcast you were sharing with us, we can find it everywhere. We everywhere we currently listen to our podcasts, which I love that. Family. I'm thinking of there was another question that I wanted to ask you about the skincare brand. And when you were talking, when you thought about the specific products that you would offer, you said there's a mask, there's a serum, and
Moisturizer.
a moisturizer. What made you decide on those three? That was what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, because I think that they pair very well. I think skincare is a process, and I don't think people fully understand that. And skincare is also like a science project on your face. Like the order in which you apply things matter, and the way that you mix things matter. These are active chemical ingredients. So it was very important for me to create something that worked seamlessly together. So, the mask is a detox mask. We call it Smooth Operator. It has some microinfoliants in there. And it's really good on cleansing your pores, like really getting that stuff out that cleanser alone doesn't get out. So we want to open up the pores, remove all that excess stuff. Then we want to go in with our serum, our probiotic serum, to balance out our microbiome and really soothe any inflammation. And then we go in with our moisturizer, kind of just seal up our barrier and keep in all that goodness that we just put in. So it was very strategically put together.
I'm hearing that. You said something that is very important. You said it's important about the order, your skincare, that you apply your skincare products. Can you talk with us about that? Because I know there are some of us who are saying, why does that even matter?
Oh, absolutely. So you're supposed to apply your skincare products from thinnest to thickest. So your thinnest consistency all the way to your thickest. So you start off with your essence and your toners, and then you may go to like your jelly serums, and then you may put on your moisturizer, and then your SPF, which is typically the thickest thing. But like I said, like skincare are active chemicals. I've had friends mixing retinols, hyaluronic acids, and all of these things, and completely messing up their skin barrier. And I'm like, girl, take a second. Please rewind.
Wait, and to that point, so I have a question for you about hyaluronic acid and about SPF, but we're going to take a short commercial break. Family, I want to know. I do. I know you're saying, Carol, why do you want to know that? Because it's important as it pertains to our skin. I want to know melanated skin. Family, stay with us because we are coming right back.
Get ready to kick off summer with the new instant $1 million jackpot from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Scoot on down to your local retailer for your chance to win big. Don't delay. Pick up yours today. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Problem gambling helpline 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tune in to Eagle Word Magazine, hosted by POC, the first Friday at 10 a.m. for the PA Lottery Eagle Word Fact of the Month. Brought to you by PA Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Hey WRD family, I'm Eric.
And I'm Kai.
And this is Unpacking, a weekly pop culture and wellness show from a Black queer perspective.
Here we're going to be sharing stories, spilling tea, and unpacking the issues that matter most to our community.
Tune in every Saturday night from 10 to midnight here on 96.1 FM or 900 AM.
Unpack with us while you unwind from your day or get dressed to head down to the bar.
Either way, come on, y'all, and let's unpack.
Tune in to Unpacking, Saturdays at 10 p.m. only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
It's too black, which means it's too strong.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of Progressive Black Talk Media, WURD.
What is love.
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with Ericka Nicole in this hour. And before the commercial break, I was sharing that I have some more questions. Ericka, I would like to know how differently or does melanated skin act differently or respond differently to hyaluronic acid?
Yeah, first and foremost, your soundtrack, I'm living for it. Every time we come back from commercial break, I'm just like, ooh, it's giving everything it needs to give. But but yes, hyaluronic acid. So it's really a moisturizing agent. So it's really, really good for seeping in moisture or keeping moisture retention into the skin. Once you apply it, it has like a tacky finish to it. So it really does feel like a moisturizing agent. But more often than not, we have like our skin isn't a monolith. And I think that's something that's very important for people to understand. Like melanated skin comes in so many different variations. And I think that it really is not necessarily a skin color thing, but a skin type thing, and really understanding what your skin type is and what products work for it. And the main skin types are like dry skin, oily skin, acne prone skin, and combination skin. So understanding your skin type, I think, is the core focus of understanding what products work for you.
Thank you for that. You know, because I was thinking of the pigment of our skin. I was thinking more so as opposed to the type. So thank you for that. And about SPF, how important is determining what SPF to use?
Can we clear up this myth, please? I just feel like this needs to be addressed for the whole world to hear. I don't understand where this myth that people of color do not need sunscreen and SPF came from. Like, I'm just so confused. We need sunscreen as well. You know, it's a thing I hear all the time. Like, oh, like I'm black, I don't need sunscreen. Huh?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. And for so many reasons, but I like to keep my SPF between like a 35 and a 50. Anything above 50, I feel like is just excessive. And you need to be wearing SPF all the time. Another misconception is, oh, you don't need it if you're not going outside, or if your home does not have any windows, then maybe. But you need to be protecting your skin at all times because global warming is a thing. The ozone layer is depleting. UV rays are causing skin cancer at such a high rate. And we need to protect ourselves. And even from an aesthetic point, hyperpigmentation is one of the biggest concerns for people of color. And if you think about it, the sun darkens skin. So if you already struggle with hyperpigmentation and you're going out into the sun with no protection, you're going to darken the spots that are already dark. So please protect your skin.
Did you hear that, family? Did you hear that? And you're absolutely right. I've heard that most of my life, that we don't need sunscreen. I don't know from where it came. I don't know who started
At
that.
all.
I don't know.
They need to be arrested.
He should. You are hilarious. Malcolm shared he learned the hard way that Black people still need sunscreen. I'm telling you, it wasn't until I was good and grown that it became a reality. No, really, growing up, I was always told we don't need sunscreen. I don't even know in any event we need sunscreen. We need your suggestion, and as it pertains to SPF, is that something that you determine individually, or is that how do you determine which what SPF is good for you?
Yeah, so I base it off of preference, and there's a lot of research that still needs to be done about SPF and melanated skin. It still is very hard for people of color to find sunscreen that doesn't leave that white cast. Black Girl sunscreen came out. When they came out, they were very big on that, having like an invisible sunscreen that really melted into our skin. Supergoop is another brand that has tried to execute this well. I will say they're probably the best second alternative, Supergoop.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but determining what sunscreen works for you, it's definitely a personal preference in regards to texture. I prefer a lighter sunscreen so that has a slightly less oily base. But I'm also an ingredient reader. Who says this? There's someone in the internet that says this, that the front is for entertainment and the back is for education, and that is
Oh,
completely true.
yes,
Surviving Vegan,
it is.
her on Surviving Vegan. She talks about that all the time, and it's so true. So the same way that we should be reading our food ingredients, we should absolutely be reading our skincare ingredients. Yes, because again, these are things that we're putting on our skin and that are absorbed by our skin. I think that's something that people miss too. The things that we apply topically are absorbed into our bodies, so they matter.
That yes, they do. My skin is so sensitive. I know that firsthand. Alfred asks, do you have do you have skin treatments for those with problem skin like acne? Ah,
Yeah, so currently that's what our serum works towards. Acne is also an inflammatory condition. So again, our serum is really catered to inflammation. So it does help with all of those skin conditions. But in the future, we definitely want to come out with more specific treatment types that really address more specific concerns like hyperpigmentation and like acne spots and things of that capacity.
so if you are not an individual with, say, an acne issue, if you will, or challenge, I'm not sure how to word that. Would we still be
Condition.
able to condition? Okay, thank you,
Mhm.
thank you. We still, and thank you very much for that, because I was
Politically
thinking the
correct.
extreme. I was thinking the extreme. Well, would we still be able to use the silken serum?
Absolutely, because all of our products have a probiotic approach. So we kind of spoke about this a little bit earlier, and really understanding the skin microbiome. So like I mentioned, like the way that you would have kombucha for your gut health, it keeps you regular, is the same way that you would use prebiotics and probiotics on your skin to keep it in homeostasis, if you will. So we're all about creating balance on the skin. So whether you have skin texture, inflammation, hyperpigmentation, there's so much science on the microbiome and how the microbiome really affects the skin barrier. And that's the methodology that we really take at Silken. You know, we are very science forward, obviously, based on my background. And we take what's called a biome barrier methodology when we formulate all of our products. So we're really formulating for overall skin health.
Family, there you have it. There you have it. Ericka, I cannot thank you enough for coming to spend time with us and sharing your time, your energy, your attention, your knowledge. Just thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you for sharing your platform.
What? I mean, it's a pleasure and a privilege. It truly is. Well, I'm going to ask what you will leave us with tonight. What would you share with us tonight?
What would I share? I think tonight I want to share that parents have please
Wait, when your audio went out, you said parents have what?
have grace on your kids.
Oh.
Because I was earlier today, I was talking to my mom about all of this. And I remember when I wanted to leave my career in forensics, I was so scared to have the conversation. And it wasn't up until maybe a year ago that my mom finally came on board and is like, I see what you're doing now. So it may sound crazy, up and quitting my job, moving away, coming back, going on sabbatical. Like it sounds crazy, but sometimes there's a method to the madness. So we need to give our youth grace. Those are my parting words.
I think the majority of those of us who are watching and listening right now are saying, no, that does not sound crazy, because there comes a point in your maturation process where you have that moment where it just, it comes at different times. It comes for different people. It comes at a different time for every individual, where you determine what it is you want to do, who you are, all that good stuff. So kudos to you. Just kudos overall. And thank you. If you don't mind, could you repeat one more time the website and the name of the podcast for us?
Yes, you can sign up to our Silken newsletter, our wait list, be in the know of all of our events and when we're launching at www.silken, that's SILKENNCO.com. And if you enjoy hearing my voice and hearing me chat up the room, you can head over to Behind the Silk podcast, available on all podcast platforms, and follow us on social media because we be kikiing over there too, and you want to be a part of that conversation.
I I love it. Oh my goodness. You are such a love light. You really are. You're so vibrant. Your light is vibrant. I so appreciate you for that. So thank you once again for coming. Give your mom our love as well. And I think it's time that we let you go to hubby, because I'm sure he's saying, what? What? Something else to take your time away from me. So,
It's wine time. You're right.
so thank you to him as well for letting us borrow you. And family, do not forget to sign up on the wait list for Silken. That is SILKENN. The website is www.silkennco.com. There you have it. Ericka, until the next time, Ericka Nicole to be exact, until the next time, just thank you so much. We love you. We love you. We're sending you love. Okay, we'll talk with you next time. Family, 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 family. Oh my goodness. When I tell y'all, those two beautiful women that we had as guests tonight just really, really, really lifted my spirit. I mean, I was already good. I was in a good place, but they really lifted my spirits even more. They really did. So grateful to the both of them for coming and spending time, space, energy, spirit, all that good stuff with us. I mean, they were just phenomenal, don't you think? They were phenomenal. Phenomenal. Family, so praising God from whom all blessings flow. You know what I'm doing. I'm going to ask that you continue to pray, because we all need it. Pray for your loved ones, pray for your enemies, and for the healing of the world. Please, please. I just thank you as well. Just thank you for all that you are, all that you do. I thank you for your support, like tremendously. I truly do. Because I wouldn't be here without any of you. So just thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sending healing prayers to Pennsylvania Representative Dwight Evans, who had a mild stroke. So we're sending our healing prayers to him. Special thanks to the entire Word family, especially Nick and Niall, for all that you do. Happy birthday once again to all of our love lights, and to Tyrone's wife. Happy belated birthday. Remember, family, that we are all in this together. You hear me? So be good to you, but be good to those around you. Yes, please, please, please. Be careful and be kind. God loves you, and so do I. Have a great rest of your night. And be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 until 9 p.m. Eastern Time, for another edition of Love and Life with Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Have a good night, family.